There's a sticker there. Definitely did not see that until just now. Hello all the crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite. Welcome back to Pokemon Ultra Moon. Last time, we fooled around in the battle arena area, the battle royal area a little bit. And we didn't really get a lot of, like, physical distance travel, but we did do some story stuff in the battle royal. And today, can I go back to the previous island from here? Or do I have to do that via Mantine Surfing if I don't have Fly yet? Wait, what? Are you friends with the old man in the Tide Song Hotel? I forgot about that side quest. Interesting. If I go back there, would there be anything interesting? Hang on, I'm gonna do that before I shove off to the previous island. Alright, you two are hanging out over here having a grand old time. I think my friends must be somewhere here and here. Hey, okay, so there's more of them. We're all a bunch of old folk now, so don't move too quick. Shouldn't be too much work to track them down. Who else was around in those days? I didn't realize this was going to be a whole scavenger hunt. I think I was just reading the text without actually internalizing what he was saying. Alright, anyway, I did find out what you do with those QR codes in the Pokedex, and it actually plays into something that I do want to do in this game, so I guess I'll go ahead and start showing that off now. But apparently, specifically what you scan the QR codes with is not like the QR reader on your phone or whatever, but it's another 3DS. And if I have my my old 3DS over here, and if I were to go into my Alola Pokedex and open up, for example, just off the top of my head, Decidueye's page, I can hit the X button to reveal the code, and I can go onto my actual live 3DS over here, and there is a item in the menu that says QR scanner. No, I would not like to read the alright, fine, I guess I'll read the manual for the QR scanner. You can get one QR code scan every 2 hours, and it can save up to 10 scans. You can collect points by scanning QR code patterns. Once you collect 100 points, you can use Island Scan. Using Island Scan, you can search each island of Alola region and find rare Pokemon. When you pick up a trace of a Pokemon, go to the location immediately to catch it. That is not all. Your Pokedex has QR code patterns for Pokemon you've caught. Scan QR code patterns for on your friends' Pokedexes. Alright, so if I turn on the camera, you can see the state that my desk is in. But if I go and hold up my other 3DS over here, and if I hit the right trigger, which is hard because I have to hold this up, the device is going to do some AR shenanigans, and it's going to scan Decidueye. And this is going to, I believe, register this as seen in my Pokedex. I've collected 10 points in total. I wonder if, are different Pokemon worth different amounts of points? Like, are stronger Pokemon worth more points? So if I were to put that down, and you can see the, texture on my desk, and if I were to scroll through to, for example, here, how about one of the Tapu? So Tapu Koko. I can open up your Pokedex entry and hit X, and it says this is a special Pokemon. There is no QR code. Okay, cool. So legendaries are out. What about a couple entries above that? If I hit Dragonite's entry, that's going to open up this code. And if I square it up nice and easy, hello. Is this also going to be 10 points? This is also 10 points. So are they all 10 points? Should I go and scan, for example, something that's really not very strong, like Murkrow, a couple entries above that. Let's go and have a look at this. I thought it said I can only scan one code every 2 hours, but it looks like there's, what, 10? There we go. It looks like there's 10, like, icons for scanniness at the top of the screen, so I guess it's more like that. Anyway, that is going to be indeed worth 10 points. Alright. So, I need 100 points for something. So I'm just going to sit here for a minute or so. Let's do a Molga next. We've got ourselves an Emolga. Got ourselves a Lapras. Got ourselves a Ninetales. I'm kind of going for Pokemon that I think are a little bit interesting instead of just scanning them all in order here. Absol. Golem. I feel like I could kind of do, like, at least part of a poker app by doing this. Electabird. This thing used to be so much fun and competitive back in the day. I have no idea if it's still considered good or not. And I think one final one for today, Porygon Z or Porygon Z, depending on which language region you're from. So I think that's going to be 10. This is another one that was really fun and competitive back in the day. It wasn't the best Pokemon, but it did have a lot of a special attack, and it did have a lot of a lot of moves that it could use with it, and some other useful things. Alright, I think that's all that I wanted to do there now. I actually thought that I could do the next thing that I wanted to do, with regards to that, like, immediately, but I actually am gonna have to wait a little bit before I can. Which is why I came back to Heya Heya City and didn't just do the thing, like, right where I was at the end of the last video. But, that's alright. We learned a little bit about things that I honestly had no idea were in this game until, like, fairly recently when I was looking up some other stuff about the game. It's an interesting idea, allowing your friends to basically register a Pokemon seen in their Pokedex. Maybe they want to get, like, a jump start on being able to find something or something like that. I don't believe it ever came back in Sword and Shield, because I definitely don't remember anybody talking about it. Really, ever. I can't say I remember anybody talking about it when this game came out either, but, that's, sorry about that, I wanted to double back and check something. It's an interesting idea. I think I've said before that I'm pretty okay with them trying out one-off mechanics, for a single game and not feeling obligated to bring them back. That is... Oh, wait, I can break these with Tauros? I thought that was... Oh, I thought that was a different ride Pokemon. Well, in that case, I've seen a couple Smashable Rocks, that maybe I should go back for at some point. But this is going to be a Cubone, and I suppose I might as well attempt to catch a Cubone. Let's see how much damage Brick Break does. That was nothing. Good to know. Alright. We are going into the Volcano. I do expect to see a lot of rock, fire, and ground types. I'm going to do this again, and maybe at half health I'll be able to just chuck a regular Pokeball at you and catch you. I don't think Cubone has the highest catch rate, but I also don't think it's especially low either. Let's just go for a Great Ball over here. This is 1.5x, you're at half health. I feel like I should have a more than 50% chance of catching you, yeah? Alright. Cubone has been caught. I will not be going and giving you a nickname or anything like that, so we can go and just skip this part. And I think after this... Cubone has been caught. I think after this, I will go ahead and toss on a Repel. By the way, if anyone wants to hear some, like, really weird and/or dumb stories about my recording setup, so... I have multiple 3DSs. I wanted the Ride Pager. I have multiple 3DSs. I have recording hardware on multiple 3DSs. And the reason for that is that the old one has been, like... used for so long that the buttons are stopping working, and like I can still use it for minor stuff like trading Pokemon with myself, but actually using it to play games was starting to get fairly difficult. So this one I'm recording on now is a new 3DS XL, which is possibly a bit of a problem because the company that made the capture units for it is out of business because basically hardware modding became sort of not exactly legal in Japan a few years ago.
Hey.
Yes, please. And I see a flag up there which tells me that this is where I'm supposed to go. Like, the device still works. I still have a backup copy of, like, the driver and the recording software and stuff for it. But, like, I hope nothing ever happens to it. Because if it does, then this thing is probably dead. And I will probably no longer be able to record DS and 3DS games like this. As far as I know... Loopy is actually still making original 3DS capture cards, and I've considered basically picking one up as a backup, but I haven't yet because I'm not made of money, and like, I like to play DS and 3DS games and do Let's Plays of them, but it's not like the end of my life if I can't. I don't know. I basically stopped taking out this recording 3DS with me just in case, like, I don't know, it falls out of my pocket and it breaks, and I really don't want that to happen.
Hey.
But life goes on. The 3DS was a fun console era. Recording it was a bit of a pain. Also, among the buttons that are not working on my original 3DS are the volume sliders, so every time you see me do something where I take it out and, like, trade Pokemon with myself or whatever, it's gonna be playing at full volume all the time, which is not great, and to make it not do that, I basically have to take my headphones and plug it in. I do not have any HP items that are smaller than, like, a Hyper Potion right now, and I don't really want to waste my Hyper Potion, so I guess we're using a Sweetheart. Theoretically, if I use a Health Wing and give Foost over here, like, 1 HP EV, theoretically that could make my HP go up by 1 point, depending on how it's rounded, but I'm not gonna do that now. I don't even remember where I picked that up. Anyway. So that's my dumb recording stories. What is this? Oh, that's a rock. I thought that was like a Pokemon. You there! The Seismic Sisters, a trio of siblings who love volcanoes. The cave here leads to the top of the volcano, just so you know. Before I go in there, I do seem to remember that there was some stuff. Yeah, that was a level 19, and I'm only level 18, so... You know, I have Pokeballs, I'm here, I might as well try and catch a Sandalette. Just because I don't feel like trying to run away, and it admittedly is satisfying to see that number in the Pokedex go up. Alright, cool. I remember using you in my original Pokemon Sun Let's Play. It was interesting. I thought you were going to be better, honestly. Salazzle. It didn't, It wasn't, like, the best Fire-type Pokemon I'd ever used, but it certainly was interesting. You have a Sparkling Z Crystal. I came back to the Pokemon Center, 1, to heal, and B, to buy more medium-tier healing items, but I, didn't realize that there was going to be a little event there. It didn't seem like you really did anything beyond that, but we'll just go buy some super potions here. It's what, 50 HP? I guess I'll buy a few more. Alright, so if I come out this way and dismount Tauros, I see that this tunnel here is actually gated off and I can't go past it. Oh well. Let's see. So you're going to tell me that I have to go back and fight that trial. Was there anything down here? There was. Alright, so this wasn't a complete waste of time. You are not a trainer, however. Maybe you can catch some rare Pokemon from those rock piles that spout bubbles sometimes. Oh, that's fishing. Have I done fishing yet? I don't think I've actually attempted fishing yet. I think I said I was going to after that last trial, and then I didn't. Let's try again. We just have to hit A in front of the fishing spot. We don't have to take out the fishing rod like we used to, which I suppose is really 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Although having multiple kinds of fishing rods that could catch like different tiers of Pokemon was kind of interesting. That is a Magikarp. Alright, the King of Carp. I'm just gonna go and see if I can make quick work of you. Alright, that's a Magikarp. Right, that's enough of that. So let's go and charge on through. And I am level 19 now, so I should be able to block a few more random encounters than I would have earlier. Let's go in here. Into the volcano, and we can, I believe, officially begin our trial. So this is going to be another item, which is an antidote. Alright, I'll talk to those NPCs in a minute. If I run down, let's see. Okay, so this is going to kind of loop back to where I just entered from. The other end of that loading screen. That item there is a float stone. That will reduce your weight. Not the most... You know what, that was kind of a waste of time, wasn't it? Because I am going into the, Oh no, this isn't. This is a different NPC. You're the prettiest of the Seismic Sisters, a trio of siblings who love volcanoes. Alright. I thought that we were just kind of spiraling around to the other end, but it seems that we have actually ended up in different places. The most charming. Okay. In that case, maybe it wasn't a complete waste of time to use that, that repel. I'm just gonna charge around in there for a bit. There's an... Are you an Ace Trainer? Is that the Ace Trainer designed in this game? You are the Ace Trainer. Alright, that could have gone better, and I don't feel like going back to the Pokemon Center, so I guess it's a good idea, it's a good thing that I just went and bought all those items, because I'm gonna need some of them. Alright. For whatever reason, I, like, did not really register that Kadabra is, like, a very strong special attacker in its own right, and it's a second stage evolution, so it's probably gonna mess up my team of mostly first stages at this moment in time. Yes, please. Alright, so that was TM39 Rock Team. There is a hiker over here who should be slightly less scary than whatever I just fought. At least nobody died that time. Use that line instead. And I suppose it is better than double team spammage. But anyway. Are we, how much of the mountain is left in that case? Are we still gonna do a lot of, descending the mountain? Is there a long distance to go, or are we finally back around to the beginning? I think we're finally back around to the beginning. Alright, so we got a couple of trainers in there, got a couple of levels, which I suppose is worth as much as anything. We are going to... Wait, did the camera actually, like... no thank you, I think I'm done there. The camera actually moved? It's like, it's moving up and down part of the way, and then, like, fading to black, and then fading back in. I don't really expect the 3DS to be able to handle, like, an entire mountain level with this amount of polygonal detail, like, loaded at the same time, so it doesn't really surprise me, but for a minute I thought that's exactly what it was doing. Anyway, if I come up here, I do happen to remember at least one detail about your trial in original Sun and Moon, and I'm curious to see if it's going to be the same or different. My Marowak and I are students of the ancient dances that have been passed down in Alola for generations. The trial of Kiawe. You'll find that it is a bit different than the trials you have faced to this point, but of course you will attempt it, right? Yeah, let's do that. Alright. My trial will test your powers of observation. There will be a dance, and then another. Your task will be to find the difference between the two. We're doing this. I remember this. This is my favorite part of the game. Alright, so this is going to be a spot the difference minigame. Watch and carefully memorize this dance. So facing left, facing down, facing right. I feel like this one isn't going to be that difficult. Alright, so the middle one is facing up. However, I have a suspicion that if I pick the wrong answer, I'm gonna get to fight something. Bite, yes please, alright. So, I remember that Alolan Marowak is part Ghost, but I didn't use Lick because I thought that Fire is neutral. Because I forgot that it was part Fire, and Lick is still... if you take super effective that, it's still weaker than Fire Fang plus Stab. But, as it turns out, Alolan Marowak is not Ground Ghost, it is Fire Ghost. Which means that Fire Fang was not very effective, and I should have just been using Lick. Alright, when you answer incorrectly, my Marowak grow so enraged that they cannot help but attack. Watch once more carefully this time. Can I answer incorrectly as long as I want and keep fighting Marowak? So, I'm not going to abuse this. The day and night just changed in the background there. I'm not going to abuse this, but if I do pick the wrong answer again, it is astounding how wrong you are. It seems like we're just gonna keep fighting these things. Alright. Fierce is growing to level 21 there, learning Scary Face. I will not be learning Scary Face. So, I really like Alolan Marowak's design, by the way. I really like those, like, ghostly, flaming baton things that it carries. It's easy to just take a Pokemon and recolor it. I'm sure you've seen plenty of those if you spent time on the internet, but I really like how they've, like, added features like this to this design. Anyway, I'm gonna answer it correctly this time. It is the center one. I guess if you really wanted to get a little bit more experience points under your belt, you could just grind off this. I'm not going to keep doing that forever. Alright. Oh, are we gonna fight anyway? Wow. Alright, enough of that. I'm not gonna leave all those in there. They basically do amount to wild Pokemon battles, and they are kind of the same battle all the time. Alright. So the second dance, and there's gonna be a couple of these, and this was, definitely a little bit out of left field. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but we'll have a look. There's gonna be... What was the difference from the previous dance? How they're smiling, show me again, where they're looking, how they're holding their bones, or where they're standing. I don't remember. That's awkward. They're blinking in the background. So, it's not where they're standing, it's not how they're holding their bones, it's not where they're looking. I have no idea how I'm supposed to tell where they're smiling. Do I just have to guess one randomly? Apparently that was correct. Hiker David. So, one year at MagFest, I assume it was the year after this game came out, there was a panel on subtle humor in games. And this was one of the examples in it. Very funny. So, my team is a little bit beat up, and I wish that I would get an opportunity to, like, heal after these fights, but I guess I'll just have to kind of waste time. There is a, definitely there were not 4 Pokemon in here the first time around. The Totem Pokemon, the big Pokemon with the bow, and the big Pokemon, the cheery Pokemon. Yeah, let's go with that one. That sounds positive. Alright. So this is going to be the Totem fight. This is going to be the third one of these. And I'm probably going to have to take a few turns to put my team back together. Let me go and fight Totem Marowak. Yeah. Fortunately, I can do the thing where I paralyze you, because, as discussed a few minutes ago, this is a Pokemon which is going to be Fire Ghost and not part Ground. I am going to switch out, and I'm basically going to waste a turn. Let's switch into Abra. This is why I keep the meat shields in my team. Sorry, Abra, but we're going to go and take a hit here. And you're gonna Brick Break me. That's probably gonna KO me despite being not very effective, right? Yeah, thought so. We can do that. We can go and waste a turn on Mime Jr. over here. And basically do the same thing, but to heal Oh, you're calling friends now. Alright, Salazzle. That's the fully evolved form of Sandalit. We're gonna go and heal... If I can find the healing items. Let's go use an actual Hyper Potion here. 120 points on Pico. Which is actually about 50% of that Hyper Potion. Salazzle's gonna go and use some poison move. It's gonna be super effective because Fairy types. Flame Wheel's not gonna hit anything. I'm gonna go bring in Stroon, and Stroon is gonna attempt to paralyze one or both of these guys. Alright. I guess trying to cheese Dragon Rage is also an option. Like I did in the last one, but I'm gonna try not to do that 2 fights in a row if I don't have to. Let's see, you're gonna Venoshock me, which would do a lot more damage if I was actually poisoned. Brick Break is going to kill Stroon. Ooh. This just went from, like, not very good to definitely bad. Let me see. If I bite you, that will be super effective. Can I go faster? I can go faster. Alright. Let's do that. If I can flinch spam you, I won't be able to spam it because... Alright, well, yeah, Torment me on the same turn that my bite was disabled anyway. Brick Break. That's gonna be a neutral hit. I guess I don't have partial dark typing yet. Well, I can go and use Fire Fang. It's not gonna do much. I would rather not. I can waste a turn on Zorua. And I mainly am doing this because I don't want to, I don't want to have to wait for Bite to become undisabled. And I think... I didn't even notice that that was the wrong Pokemon, honestly. I think I can go Bite you again. We'll see if we get the flinch. And... we'll see if I can manage to pull one out of my butt here. I think... Really? Alright, fine. Venoshock. That's an okay move on its own. It does become really scary. If you're poisoned, because its power does double if you're poisoned. So we're gonna do that. You're gonna take down Pico. I thought this was gonna be a 3-hit KO, but it looks like it might not be. Well, I did get the flinch. Not that it mattered, because there's nobody out on the field. And I think this is unfortunately probably gonna be it. Can I revive Pico, and can I get Pico to stay alive for long enough to, I feel like this is a waste of a perfectly good revive, but can I get Pico to stay alive for long enough to take down Marowak and also Salazzle? Alright, yeah, that's it for Foos, unfortunately. Brick Break. It's gonna be close. It might be a matter of the damage roll, plus or minus a couple of percentage points this way or that. Whether or not I'm actually able to take down Marowak. If I am, I should get a lot of experience at the very least. No. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna have to do this again. Unless you flinch. You did not flinch. Unless you somehow get a bad damage roll on Brick Break, you did not get a bad damage roll on Brick Break. Even if you did, Poison would have taken me down anyway. Alright. At least that was a faster loss than the last one. What's this? Pink Nectar. Is that for attracting those Oricorio, Birdo Pokemon? I can't remember what that is for. Is there a Magmar walking around up there? Can I actually interact with that thing? Or is it just, like, decoration? I have never seen that before. Alright, so I didn't have to go through the first 2 rounds of this again, which means that it was actually fairly quick getting back into this battle, which is kind of nice. So we're going to fight this again. I have gone and put Pico out front because I'm gonna go and just try and bite you as fast as I can and see how much damage I can get off on you. So your aura is gonna flare to life. I think on the first turn you're gonna summon your friend. Do I want to work up first and turn the 3-hit KO-ish into, like, a 2-hit KO. I'm gonna... Alright, you're gonna detect anyway, so that was probably the only good move here. We're going to go and use a workup, and that is going to increase my attack and special attack. You're gonna summon your friends, and that is going to be the salamander. Alright, Salazzle. So we're going to then go and use a bite here, and make sure that I'm selecting the correct one. And that's going to... Let's see, is this going to put you in the yellow? It is not quite going to put you in the yellow. Alright, so instead of 3-hit KO to 2-hit KO, we're going to, like... God damn it. Alright, we're going to... 4-hit KO to 3-hit KO. Which... Alright, fine. We can do the thing again. We can do the thing again. Righty then, that was a little annoying, but my my disablement, the cursed body, has worn off. And you're gonna detect again. Okay. Sometimes I feel like the AI uses detect every other turn. I don't think that's what you were doing the first time around. That did almost half. I don't think you were just detecting every other turn the first time around, but we're going to use Bite again, and that is going to... One more hit on anything is going to take you down. You could probably kill me, and it would be unfortunate, but it wouldn't be like the end of the battle. You somehow did not kill me. Alright. Well, I am fast. So I suppose... should I need to come in and clean up anything later, I can just do that and get a bite off on either of them. Let me go switch into Foos, and I'm gonna see if Foos can actually take down Marowak over here now. So Flame Burst is gonna be not very effective. That's great. Brick Break is going to also be a neutral hit, and that left me with 2 HP. And Foos, if you can't do this, you're not like off the team or anything. But you know what? Let me see. Let me protect. I'm just gonna suspect that you're gonna maybe do that also. Nope. You are using a normal move. Okay. Let's just see if I can Dragon Tail you to death. Maybe I'll get lucky with a critical hit or something. Maybe to be able to go first. And I was not able to go first. All right. Well, it was worth a try. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, etc., etc. And we can should I just bring Pico back in? Skip the pain? Let's bring Pico back in and skip the pain. All right, Pico, you're gonna take down the totem. You're probably going to die to Salazzle unless Salazzle does something really dumb. I don't even know if Salazzle has any moves that can't damage right at this moment. But we're going to go and use Bite on Marowak over here. That's going to take down Marowak. Now we've just got the one. All right. That was less experience than I thought it was going to be. I guess I am a couple levels stronger than you. Anyway. Pico's going to go down, and we can bring in Stroon over here. This was not the neatest fight I've ever had in its own right, but we got through it without too much nonsense. And should I use a Z-Power here? Let's use a Z-Power here. It's tradition. Alright. Let's do this. Do I want to skip this animation, or do I want to, like... Oh, when I Z-move it, it doesn't have priority. That's annoying. Do I want to skip this animation, or do I want to, let it play out? I guess I'll let it play out. It's a totem fight. If it was a regular trainer fight, I probably wouldn't. Alright, that almost took you down. Fortunately, Extreme Speed does have priority, so just one of these should be enough. Alright. Good job, Stroon. Good job, Salazzle. Good job, everybody else. That friend was actually worth more experience than the Totem Pokemon was. Anyway, we've defeated Totem Marowak. No Dragon Rage spam this time. Whoa, spectacular! With your keen observations, you were able to see even fine differences in our dances, and you defeated the Totem Pokemon with such ease. The Totem Pokemon protected its Fire MZ. Now it is yours. I guess I'll give this to Pico. I do have Fire Fang. Did not have any water moves at the time of the other at the time of the other totem. I did not have any fighting moves at the time of the other totem. I guess Pico does now have a fighting move. Actually, Foos also has a fighting move, doesn't he? Doesn't she? I guess I'll go and distribute some Z crystals. I don't like Z crystals, but I'm gonna try and like roleplay along with the game a little bit in this Let's Play more than I did the first time around with the Z moves and what have you. I want to at least see some of the fancy animations, even if I get tired of seeing them for like the 30th time by the end of the game. Usually I would prefer to just stick with, like, you know, normal items, leftovers, life orbs, choice items, that kind of thing. I guess in-game, those are later game items, and you're probably not going to have access to them, so maybe it's just as well that you might use a Z Crystal or whatever. Anyway, we may now use the ride Pokemon Charizard. Charizard will lend you his strength, and you will be able to go anywhere you have been in an instant. I think I titled this video in my original Pokemon Sun Let's Play, like, every 6-year-old's dream or something. Which, for the record, I have not grown out of. Just saying. Anyway, so he's going to show us the dance, or maybe he already did show us the dance, I wasn't really looking. And we can now descend the mountain. No thank you. Wait a minute, can I actually use Charizard to fast travel back to town, like, immediately? So if I do this... I can. I mean, not back to town, but, like, to any Pokemon Center, because there are Pokemon Centers that aren't necessarily in towns. Alright, well, I should probably go heal, and then I should probably end this off. Oh, we're not in town. My name is Dragonite. This has been Pokemon Ultra Moon. Next time, we are going to advance, we're going to make our way past that tunnel over there, which had the barricade in front of it. And we're going to move on with the rest of the game. You should all go check out Wizarducks and the Lost Hat, which is one of the games that I like to work on when I'm not doing YouTube stuff. Link to the Steam page can be found down below. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.